I'm going to be showing you guys how you can make a really nice desktop on your Raspberry Pi. And as a base, we're going to be using the XFCE desktop environment over the default LXDE that Raspberry Pi comes with. And this is because I feel like the XFCE desktop environment is a bit more customizable and it just is easier to work with in my opinion. So I'll be showing you guys how to install that and then we'll go over customizing it. And we're going to make this desktop really fun to use. Like we're adding wobbly windows, we're adding a 3D shape to switch desktops. This is going to be a really fun process. So I'd recommend tuning in and trying this out yourself. So to get started, we are going to need Raspberry Pi OS Lite. So open up the Raspberry Pi imager, and then we're going to choose Raspberry Pi OS Lite 32-bit. Choose this one, choose storage, choose your device, and click flash. So here on first boot, we are going to want to, it says Raspberry Pi login, we're going to want to log in. So the default username, you're going to type Pi, and then you're going to hit enter. The password is going to be Raspberry. And we're actually going to want to change this right now because we don't want the default password because it's kind of dangerous, and it's just, we want a better password, a more safer one, because people can easily find this. So to change it, we're going to type sudo passwd. Type that in, type in the new desired password, and now we'll have a nice new password that nobody can hack into us easily. But if you do want to connect to Wi-Fi, you can actually go sudo raspi-config, and from here, you can actually log right into interface options, and system options and wireless LAN. You can sign into your Wi-Fi from there. I'm using Ethernet, so I don't really have a reason to do that. But now we need to install the XFCE desktop environment. And to do that, we're going to type sudo taskcell. Give it a second. It's going to load up this nice little interface for us to install the XFCE desktop environment. See, there are actually a lot of desktop environments in here, and if you do want to try out other ones, feel free to do so, but for this guide, I'm going to be using XFCE. So I'm going to choose XFCE, I'm going to hit the space bar, and you see it selected it, I'm going to hit enter. And now it's going to start grabbing all the packages, everything I need for the XFCE desktop to install, and once that's done, I'll be right back and we'll get to customizing. Alrighty, so as you can see right now, it is done installing, and I can tell because on the bottom right here, it says Pi Raspberry. So everything is done. Now I should have the XFCE desktop environment installed on Raspberry Pi OS. But to access that, we're actually going to have to do a quick reboot, and then we'll be right over on the desktop. So now we are over on our XFCE desktop environment, and as you see, I have this panel and this dock on the bottom, but my desktop just doesn't look modern whatsoever. It looks extremely outdated. So that's what we're going to try to fix in this video. We're going to make it look so beautiful, and we're going to just make a really fun desktop to use. So to get started, we're actually going to install Compiz first. Compiz is this window manager that works really well with 3D graphics, and it surprisingly enough runs really well on our Raspberry Pi 4. We'll be able to have wobbly windows, 3D desktops, and it's going to be super fun. So to install it, we're actually going to use the Synaptic Package Manager. Go over to Applications, go over to System, and Synaptic Package Manager. This actually comes pre-installed when you install your desktop with taskcell. So it's really easy, you don't even have to use the terminal at all. So we're going to actually search for Compiz. So click this right here, go to search, and search for Compiz. Just do that, hit search, hit enter, and it's going to look for Compiz for us. So it's searching for it right here. You can see on the bottom, it's going to grab all the information and everything it can find about Compiz for us. So let me just make this a bit bigger right here. As you see right here, we have, so what we're going to want, we're just going to want to click Compiz. Click this tick right here. Nope, not that one. Click Compiz right here, click Mark for installation. And there's a lot of stuff in here, but you don't have to use all of these things, but there are some that I would recommend. Like, we want the Compiz config settings manager. Click that, and all these things are going to be installed with it. So it's actually really useful, and there are tons of Compiz packages in here, so you can go through these things and see which ones you actually do want. Like, I want the Fusion icon, mark for installation, and mark. So you can, if there's something you miss, you can go back later and install it too. It really all works. I want the PDF cube too. But these are just a lot of dependencies and stuff to make Compiz work a bit better. So once you find everything you want, like this is what I want, I'm going to click right here and click apply. and now it's going to start installing all this Compiz packages for me. So it's really useful, and I'll be able to start Compiz with a desktop icon. So it's going to be really easy to do, and we're going to have a really fun time on our desktop. It's going to be great. Alrighty, so now Compiz is done installing on my desktop environment, so now I can just click close. And before we start, we're actually going to want to go into the Compiz settings and play around with just a few settings and check. So wait for this Synaptic Package Manager to stop loading. It's just, and then we can close it, and then we'll go over to our applications menu right here. It looks like it's not responding. Click yes. Okay, so now we're going to go right here and we're going to go to settings, and right here we have Compiz config settings manager. So this is the Compiz settings, and there are a lot of stuff in here that you can do. Like I want wobbly windows, so I search for wobbly windows. I'm going to click enable right here. So now I'll have wobbly windows once I start Compiz. I'm going to click all, and there's a lot of stuff in here. So I'd recommend going through this thing, playing around with it, because there are a lot of things. Like I want the desktop cube. I really do enjoy that actually. I need to disable that, and now we'll have a desktop cube. So there are tons of effects in here, tons of amazing things. Compiz is just amazing because there are so many awesome effects they can enable, and it just makes playing around in your desktop a lot more fun. So these are the ones I want for now. I might go back and change them later, but we'll close that out, and now let's start up Compiz. So go to applications, go over here to accessories, and click the Compiz Fusion icon. We're going to want that. It's going to make a little icon on our bar right here. Give it a second. It's loading up. It does refresh the desktop a few times. And now if we click, there might be little black glitches on the beginning, but then it goes away. So don't worry. Click the Fusion icon right here. Go to select window manager, and now we have Compiz enabled. So let's open up like a terminal. Watch this. Our window bars are a bit messed up right now, but we will fix that. Look at this wobbly window, and it runs so well on the Raspberry Pi, and it looks so darn good. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. It is awesome. I love the wobbly windows so much, and it really gives us this really nice effect. Like, let's try to close the window. Watch this. Like, it just looks so amazing, and I love Compiz. It gets so many awesome effects to our desktop, and it runs so well on the Raspberry Pi. So like, that is just some of the things you can do with Compiz. But we will go more in depth on customizing and making our desktop looking better right now. But yeah, so that is basically that. So now we want to have better window icons. So we're going to click right here. We're going to go to Emerald Theme Manager. So we're going to change the icons, like the closing icons on our terminal or any other application. So give it a second to launch. And right here, see, we have themes. And I actually really like this Moo theme. It kind of gives you that OS X look, plus with different colors. So look, now it looks a lot more modern. Our icons just look a lot better now, and they're these nice circles on the left. So there are lots in here. You can go through, check them out. If you're more of a default user, you might like that theme, Numix. It's good. But there are lots in here, so check them out. I like this one, so I'm going to stick to that one because it just looks really cool in my opinion with the wobbly windows. And let's say we also enabled desktop cube. So hit Control Alt. Watch this. Control Alt. Oh, so we will need to look into that a bit more. It must not have been enabled correctly. But now we're going to want to start theming our system and making it look a lot better. So as my default theme, I'm going to go with the Arc theme. So I can actually enable that from my terminal. I'm going to go sudo apt install arc-theme, and this theme is just a really nice dark theme. It's simple, it looks good, and I just love the look of it. That's why I'm sticking to it for this video. And then as my cursor, I think I'm going to use the Breeze cursor theme. So it's sudo apt install breeze-cursor-theme, and I'll use a different icon theme in a minute. But this is just my favorite Breeze cursor theme. And if you looked right here, when we try to launch a web browser, it launches Firefox. This XFCE actually did not install Chromium, so I'm going to go ahead and install Chromium myself. So to do that, I'm just going to type in my terminal real fast, sudo apt install Chromium, because Chromium is in the repositories, and Chromium is a better browser for Raspberry Pi OS in my opinion. And this is still Raspberry Pi OS, so every software that you think you can install on normal Raspberry Pi OS is also compatible with this. So don't worry about like, oh, is it going to work or not? This is still Raspberry Pi OS. There is literally nothing different from it. So just use it like normal Raspberry Pi OS. So now to get back to theming, we're actually gonna want to open up Chromium because the icon theme that I want to use is actually on the internet. It's not in the app repositories, and I actually started really liking this. This is called the Flat Remix icon theme. I'm gonna type Flat Remix icon theme and also leave a link to this in the description below. You can just download it straight from there. But it really looks pretty and it just feels amazing. So we're gonna click Flat Remix icon theme. And we'll start changing the cursor and the theme after we download our little icon theme after this. But it's just going to be a really nice process. So we'll let the website load up. It's going kind of slow right now. And right here, if we go over to files, there's actually lots of versions of this. And right here, choose new password for a new keyring. Just hit continue. You don't want a password. Click continue. We're good. But right here, there's going to be actually lots of colors. There's blue, there's green, there's yellow, there's purple, there's red, there's black. There are tons of them. I'm actually a fan of the default blue version. I'm going to download the blue one. But if you like other colors more, go ahead and try those out too because they're all amazing. So let that download right there because we want the new color, the blue version. So once that's done, open up your file manager and we're going to go over to downloads, and then once that's done downloading, we'll be able to access it. Alrighty, so now it's done downloading and we're actually going to have to extract it. Right click and we're going to get an option for extract right here. So go right here and extract here. So let that extract. It's not that big of a file, but it still is kind of hefty. So give it a second. I don't think it registered right there. Click extract here and let this thing extract. So now it's done extracting and we're actually going to open up one more file manager window. Not that one. What am I doing? So close that out. We're going to open up our file manager one more time. I'll go over just to downloads, open folder, and then we're going to go right back here. We're going to go over to Pi and we're going to have to go to view and show hidden files because we need to see the hidden files. And right here we're actually going to right click, create folder, and we're going to name it dot icon. So the dot is going to hide the folder. So click create right here, go into that folder and just drag and drop the Flat Remix blue light into there. So once that's there, we can actually exit out of both of these things and we can go to view and just turn off show hidden files. So now we won't see that icons folder whatsoever, but it is there and it's going to hold all our icon themes in there. So it's pretty cool. So now go to applications, go over to settings and go to appearance. So here, our style, we're going to choose the Arc Dark because that's the one that I installed. And the Arc Dark just really looks cool. Like this dark theme really has some style and it just looks really clean. My icons, I'm going to go right here. Look, the Flat Remix blue light. Click that and you see it kind of really has this nice feel to it. I mean, these icon themes look really nice and it looks modern. That's why I just really enjoyed it, and all the icons look really cool, like the purpley blue and the green version. All of them do look really cool, so you could try out those versions if you like to. But that is the Flat Remix blue icon. You can change the font if you have a different font that you want, but I don't really. And now to change the cursor, go to applications, go over to settings, and it should be in right here. Where is it? It's called mouse and touchpad. Go to mouse and touchpad, go to theme, and choose the Breeze cursor theme. Click close, and now after a reboot, it really doesn't change till you do a full system reboot. We'll have a really nice cursor theme. But now I really don't like this dock on the bottom. It doesn't look very modern, so let's kind of change that. Let's install the Plank dock. It is my favorite. So sudo apt install Plank because Plank just looks really cool. And yeah, so while that's installing, I don't really like this right here because I have another way of changing desktops. So I'm going to right click on here and I'm going to go remove because it just doesn't look very good. And if I want to switch desktops, go Control Alt. Watch it here. We have a whole cube with Compiz. It's so beautiful and it runs so well. Look at this. It's so smooth. That's why I really love Compiz. So before launching Plank, we're actually going to want to just delete the panel under it because it really makes things messy. So just hold down on here, go to Panel, and go to Panel Preferences. In Panel Preferences, we're going to just click this minus sign, click Remove. And now we're going to remove that panel because we just don't really want that. Go over to Applications, go back to Accessories, and launch Plank once more. So now our Plank dock looks kind of good, but it really doesn't. So we're going to hold Control and we're going to go to Preferences. And I really like the transparent theme and it runs really well with this Compton. So go to Transparent and now it just looks a lot better. You could change icon size, make it smaller. You could do icon zoom if you like, and it does look pretty well with this, but I'm going to turn that off. And docklets, I really like to add the trash docklet. It looks really modern and it looks really nice. That did not stay on there. So now we have the trash docklet. So now our system looks really nice, but our wallpaper does not look very good, and we don't have a very good application launcher. So to fix both of those, I'm actually going to install PiApps. PiApps has LightPad in it, and LightPad is a really awesome tool that just, it's a really nice application launcher. It's probably one of my favorites for Linux. It really looks like macOS, and I'm just a huge fan of it. So we're going to install PiApps to install that. So just copy this right here, and we're going to go back, open up our terminal. Our terminal is not saved in there. Let's go terminal, and I'm actually just going to pin that to the Plank right there. Did that, click paste in here, and now we'll have PiApps installing. And yeah, so while that's installing, if you want to theme your terminal, go right here to edit and go to preferences, and I actually really enjoy doing this. So watch what we're going to do right now. Go to preferences. Well, if your terminal doesn't freeze up. So, and we're going to go over to appearance, and right here, background, we're going to click transparent background because that looks really cool. Opacity, we can just make that a bit bigger right here, but overall it looks really cool to have this kind of transparent background, and if you have a nice wallpaper, it's going to look really cool with that transparency. It's going to look sick. So that is why I just like to keep that. While we're at this, let's look for a good wallpaper. So I'll just Google search simple wallpaper because I want a good wallpaper. And while that's done, PiApps is now done installing. We can close that out. But let's look for a wallpaper first, and then we'll go installing LightPad. So right here, oh, this one looks pretty cool actually. This one does. I like this wallpaper. So I'll leave a link to this in the description too if you want to check it out. But I'll just go save image as and save it to my downloads. So now we have PiApps and a new wallpaper installed. So let's change the wallpaper real fast. We're going to go right here to desktop settings, and in my wallpaper, I'm going to click folder and other. And then I can go to Pi and then downloads and right here. But you see, it's not letting me change it. That is kind of my problem lately. I don't know why that is. So the only way I'm actually able to change it is by doing some different things. So you see right here, it's in the user share images folder. So we're actually going to have to access that. So as I was saying, it's not letting me change the background thing right here. So to fix that, actually, I'm going to go sudo thunar, which thunar is the file manager. So we're going to do that. We're going to go over here to the file system. We're going to go over to user, and we're going to go over to share. In share, we're going to find the images directory. So look for it. It's in the eyes. So we just packed it because there's images right here. We're going to go over to desktop base, and here are all the default images. So to add our own, go back and open up the file manager one more time. Just go right here and copy over the image that you want as your background image. Like I want this image, so I'm going to copy it over right here. So once it's in that folder, we can actually just close out both of these because we don't need it. And this is the only way I've been able to change my window on this version of Raspberry Pi OS. I really don't have any idea why. It's kind of odd, but if it works, I mean, it works. So that's how I've been having to do it lately. But here we have our image, so I change it, and it looks pretty nice now. So now, like I was saying, let's install LightPad, because LightPad is a really nice application launcher. Open up PiApps, and we're going to go over to, it's going to be in, was it in iCandy? I can't remember. Yeah, it's in iCandy, LightPad. We're going to install LightPad, because I really enjoy LightPad. Click install, and now it's getting LightPad for me. So let that thing do its thing. And while it's installing, we want to auto start Plank, because every time we boot up our Pi, we don't want to have to restart Plank. So to auto start it, we're actually going to go over to settings, and it should be over here in auto start somewhere. where is it? It is in Session and Startup. We're going to go to Session and Startup. We're going to go to Application Auto Start, and we're going to click Add. In Add, our name, we're just going to type Plank. Our description, you can just type Plank too, but our command is going to be -user -bin -plank. So this will, every time we boot up our Pi now, this will auto start Plank. So it's really easy to do. Click OK, and now Plank is on there. So it's that easy to do. And with Pi apps, one more app that I want to install is actually called ULauncher. ULauncher is a really nice application that we can like search our apps with. And it makes our desktop experience so much better. So I'm going to install ULauncher. So let that thing install and then we'll be ready. Alrighty, so now we have LightPad installed. So let's add that to our dock. So we're going to go right here to the home directory and give it a second. We're going to go over to File System. We're going to go to User and we're going to go to Share. In here, we're going to find the Applications folder right here. Scroll down till you see LightPad right here. LightPad, just drag and drop that over to your dock, to our Plank docs. Now if we click it, we have a really nice application launcher. You can search for all your apps and it just looks really beautiful. So that's why I just really enjoy it, and it helps me find my apps a lot easier. So now one more application that we're going to want that we installed earlier was ULauncher. So go over here to Accessories and it should be down here, ULauncher. And ULauncher is another amazing application that kind of resembles macOS. So give it a second and Control Space. We can search for anything we want, like terminal. We search for terminal and we can launch it from here. So it's really easy. And if we want to change the settings, go right here to Preferences. And we're going to scroll down and make sure it launches at auto start. So scroll down. Wait, where is it? Preferences. Well, our color theme, I like the elementary dark theme. It's a really nice theme. And yeah, so now if we go Control Space, we have more of a dark theme and our thing just looks really nice and it helps me open up applications so much easier. So that is ULauncher. So I mean, this is how my desktop looks at the end of this setup. It definitely looks a lot more modern than at the beginning, and I have all these amazing Compiz features now, like the wobbly windows. Like I was mentioning, it's so amazing. I just love them. The desktop, the cube desktop looks amazing. You can also have that as circle if you like. Having 4 desktops at once is also a huge plus. Like let's say I open up this app on this window and then I go over to my next window, I open up another application, and if I want to go back to that application, I click right here and it switches me right over. So it's a super helpful tool, and our desktop experience just goes up way more. And it's so awesome that it works this well. Compiz is amazing, and I love it on my Raspberry Pi. So this is how to make your Raspberry Pi look beautiful like this. I mean, I think it really does look beautiful with all these awesome features, and it was just a super fun experience. So I'd recommend you guys trying this out on your own Raspberry Pi too, because it's super fun. So let me know down below in the comments what you think about this. Are you going to try it? Let me know down below in the comments, and thanks for watching.